Gaston! Poor Gaston. Wow, a lot is happening. We have arrived at a big town, but before that, we see this massive ship with that one eye in the middle, which reminds me always of Cousin It. Is Cousin It on that ship?
He might be.
Is he the captain or the first? He's not the first mate. He wouldn't even be a helper on that ship. He'd sit back and say, this ship is going wherever I want it to go.
In my head, he's like, he can teleport. So I feel like he could be on that ship and then he could just as easily be on land.
He seems to be able to almost fly.
He seems more like a myth than like a person.
But we know he's around because he thinks he's all that, and he's a megalomaniac after all. He's challenged outwardly Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work for you, but then I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that, Cousin Ed. I mean, let's face it. You know who. We won't name his name. He's formidable.
He doesn't seem too worried either about...
He doesn't worry about anything anymore.
No.
He didn't even worry much when he was a mercenary running the Band of the Hawk. It's like, oh, you want us to take care of that army that's coming up against you, King? We'll take care of it. I've got 20, 30 guys.
It kind of harkens back to me where Commander Julius slapped Griffith across the face.
How dare you speak?
And then just smiled and was like, okay, good luck. Like, it was just so you are so beneath me, it doesn't even matter.
You didn't mention his name, did you?
I believe it like a cuss word.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So anyway, and one of the guys on the boat is, how do I describe him?
He kind of gives me like monk vibes, or maybe like...
Do you think he was on the boat when this was happening? When we see him smoking his...
Hookah?
Hookah, yeah.
Hookah.
Hookah.
Yeah.
When he's smoking his hookah thing?
Yeah.
I think he was on the ship. And he gets a report, all your men they're dead. And all the evil beings that you sent out to kill them, they're all dead too.
Yeah.
Really? Who killed them? Well, pretty much one guy.
So he's clearly a spellcaster because he was able to...
turn crocodiddly dials into something more than.
Mm-hmm. And the 3 unwise men and the rest of them.
Yeah. 3 unwise men are particularly unwise now. Actually, there was 5 of them, but that just doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
Because they've lost their head.
Agreed.
Literally.
From Sir Lancelot. Sliced and diced him.
Was it Lancelot or did he get any help? Now, he didn't need any help.
No.
After all, he's got that magical sword.
Facts.
And he's a tremendous swordsman anyway. So could you imagine Sir Lancelot with a magical sword and his own abilities as a swordsman? Watch out, guys. They've come to this city. It starts with a V. Yeah. Visalia. They've come to Visalia. And it is a port city. It's massive. I think it's fair to say, I don't recall coming upon a city from a distance that looked so populated.
Yeah, lively.
Yeah, I mean, and like a port city, there's all sorts of people who have arrived at that port, probably looking for their own power, wealth, women, who knows what. But they've all gathered there, and that's not unusual.
Serpico kind of talks about it too, because he used to be the Herald of Arms.
He was the Herald of Arms, which means he knows, he can identify all of the flags that are flying, who they are, probably a whole lot about them too. And he's kind of given a little mini lesson to his pals.
Which is so Serpico coded.
Yeah.
Like he would.
Do you remember Game of Thrones when...
Tyrion?
The Maester was teaching the youngest son of the King of the North. Well, not the King of the North, but Sean
Bran?
Yeah. Yes. Teaching him all the sigils.
Yes.
And he got to the sigil, which was Tyrion's sigil. And he said, a Lannister always pays his debts. And then the Maester got all, that's not really what their motto is, corrected him. Anyway, Sir Lancelot knows who all of these peoples are.
Yeah.
And
all the different mercenary groups.
Yeah. So Lancelot, again, is a great guy to have around because he probably knows if there's any good ones and he knows all the bad ones.
Oh, yeah. He's the intel guy.
So, again, Lancelot he's just great.
He's an asset to this group.
A true asset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're that small of a group, and how many are there?
Casca, Serpico, Guts, Farnese, Schierke, and I guess if you
couple
count...
of elves.
Yeah, I was going to say if you count Puck and Elvira,
yeah.
And then you have Shyster Boy. So 8, technically.
Yeah. So, we come to this massive town, and it's really run by the Holy See, at least to whatever degree they can hold this town of variety.
You say your name right. right now.
By Celia. Together. The Holy See seems to be the one to be feared if there's someone to be feared.
Agreed.
And the group really doesn't know a whole lot about Guts. And the only one who does is in a state of catatonia. Mobile catatonia, but still catatonia. And she's not telling anybody about Guts.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and Serpico knows something.
Serpico knows everything about all these groups. And he knows about the Band of the Hawk, and he brings it up. And who is the Band of the Hawk right now, really? It's our friend Guts. And is he adding anything to the conversation? No. If anything, he's doing all that he can to distract conversation about the Band of the Hawk. And I think it's because he's a humble guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he knows the value of keeping a low profile.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go in there flashing his giant sword around, making everyone aware that, hey, this guy just might be the Black Swordsman. If I know Guts, and we are personal good friends, I would say that Guts would love to go through this city and come out the other end and keep on going to Elfland.
Agreed.
That's my take on it. Of course, that's not going to happen.
No.
No way. There's too much that the author could write about that's going on in this city, and we're going to find out.
Something that I found interesting is that they brought up the Purple Rhino Knights.
Yeah.
And I feel like that harkens back to Zod. It harkens back to Guts fighting 100 men, him and Koska when they first got together. Like, I feel like that's such a prominent battle. And he kind of just dismisses it in his head. Like, it wasn't that crazy.
It was only 99. It wasn't even 100.
Yeah. And like in his head, I feel like he isn't even taking in how much that arc like changed his life going forward. Because after they
changed all their lives.
Yeah. And like just like after defeating them, how like he was like leaving the Band of the Hawk and like all that. Like I feel like that was such a like detailed and an important arc.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like,
yes, it was.
Yeah, that happened. Yep. Moving on.
He's not a showman.
No.
Not at all a showman. He could be. He's, the Wild Bill Hickok of his day, I guess. And has no interest in that. He's a wise, quiet fellow who also is just a tremendous fighter. Now, one other thing about that introduction to the Purple Knights. Without the help of Zod back then, we might not be talking about Guts anymore. Because he really was going to go up against 100 guys with a broken sword. It's Zod that throws him a sword.
Yeah.
Zod? Do you think Zod would throw him a sword today? He might throw a sword or a dagger at him, but he certainly would not help him. Oh, how time changes things.
And it kind of shows that maybe Zod doesn't know as much as other people, because I feel like Skull Knight probably already had the prophecy of what was going to happen. And Zod was more like, I see this going somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. Because remember, he wasn't a slave to Griffith at that point.
No.
And so it's not like he was like, oh, I shouldn't throw him a sword so then we can just get rid of this guy. It was more like he hadn't picked a side. He tried to kill Griffith.
He did.
So he's not as...
In fact, he beat Griffith down, like a piñata.
Literally.
And it took Griffith a long time to recover. And, Guts, what did he need? A glass of water. And he was ready to go again. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we already knew there was really something to this guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Something else. So all this stuff is happening at the town. We're walking through it, and interesting, adventurous things are going to occur. You just know it. You can't put 500,000 people together and not get some trouble out of it. The first one that seems to be walking into the trouble really is our friend Little Schierke, Little Good Witch. She kind of looks like a good little witch. To the Holy See, there's no such thing as a good little witch or a good anything. She's oblivious. She's been a forest dweller pretty much all her life. Oh, how I want to know a little bit more about how Flora came across her. We'll find out someday. This great author, how do you say his last name? Miura?
Miura.
Yeah, Murray. What? He is a fantastic author, and we'll find out.
I feel like what Schierke is going through right now is like the example that I told you earlier. It's like she lived in the Appalachian Mountains and now she's in New York City.
Yeah.
Like it's such overwhelming culture shock for her, for a girl that's just dwelled in the forest for her whole life, that she seems to be like not thinking straight.
And this is a functioning city. The other cities we've come across really have been devastated cities. There's very little organization going on. This place somehow is organized. That's really different. And there are so many people. She keeps talking about the ode being confusing. And I think it's 1,000,000 voices.
Yeah.
was like Spock in one of those episodes of Star Trek when an entire ship was destroyed and he was light years away and he had a startling, like, I think 500 Vulcans were just killed. She's in that state of, I'm hearing all these voices. It's confusing.
And I feel like it's drowning out the spirits that she usually listens to.
Yes.
And it's just all these like human emotions that she's not fully comfortable with.
Yeah, and we know that this is a seedy place anyway. You can be certain that the voices she's hearing are not pleasant.
Mm-mm.
In fact, when it's a seedy city, anyone who would be pleasant is usually just afraid.
Yeah.
Just in fear of their life. So she's getting all sorts of vibes coming in.
And like weird looks because of how she's dressed.
She's dressed the way Flora dressed her.
Mm-hmm.
Made her garments. She looks like a pretty little witch girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to bode well there. Because they're all afraid of the Holy See. And they're probably all afraid of Boat Boy. Did we name him?
No.
He doesn't have a name. Hookah Boy. Hookah Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Hookah Man. I bet he puffs through 50 loads of hookah a day.
Probably.
He looks like it. He must kind of reek.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call him Reek.
No. Theon Greyjoy?
Hookah Reek.
No. Mr. Hookah is so good.
Yeah, Mr. Hookah.
So,
interestingly, the one who senses that it could be trouble seems to be Shyster Boy. Why? Because he's wandered into these kind of cities looking for a free handout or anything he could steal. He's been doing that his whole life. 13 years probably. And so he's a little bit ticked at her. And he has no right to be ticked at her. He's just trying to be all that.
Yeah. And he's just a little immature.
And he foolishly knocks her hat off. Like, you're going to give us all away. You're a witch and you'll be burned at the stake. And it was all true. But he could have taken her aside and said, hey, lose the hat, honey.
Yeah.
You know? Or we're all dead.
But then it gets run over by that barrel.
Yes. And something interesting shows up at the end of this arc. It's like, how'd she get her hat back?
Well, she just grabbed it. But then she told him that he was being cruel. And she was crying and she left.
Yes.
Which kind of shaped him up a little.
It did, shockingly. Shyster Boy of yesteryear, or in this case, yestermonths, I think he wouldn't have been introspective at all about himself. But he likes her.
Yeah.
It's the only one in his age group. And of course, even though they're probably the same age, maturity-wise, she's years ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
And always will be. He'll be interested in her in a few years, but I don't know that it can ever really work out. He's such a hothead.
He is a hothead.
He's a little hothead. So anyway, she wanders off. She wanders off, probably has her feelings hurt, which is, can you think of another time that she's ever had her feelings hurt? No. She's been in dangerous situations, but never wandered off because of her feelings.
No.
She's so mature.
And she's very stoic. Like, even when she was talking to Guts about Flora's death, she was like, a death for a witch is never sad, but she was like really crying.
Yeah. Well, she had the greatest teacher. So she wanders off. Little Good Witch wanders off, and she's going through dark bricked alleys that are sinister looking. And it doesn't improve because at the end of one of these alleys, death. When I saw it, it reminded me of a scene out of Kirk Douglas playing in a classic movie. Oh my gosh. Give me a moment.
Take your time.
It's a must-see movie. It's a must-see movie.
Do you want to look it up on your
phone? It's going to come to me.
Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, Jamie, pull it up. Not Serpico. Thanks, Jamie. Love you. Mean it. Where was I?
You were talking about her going into the alley and how it was like deep and dark and seedy.
Yes. And she comes upon death. All these guys are basically hung up on poles. They are dead. And what she was following seemed to be the spirit of one of these poor Kushans who had been killed for no other reason that they were weak for whatever reason and easily killed. The Kushan can never win because when they won, they'll just kill each other.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
It seems to be like they're opportunists. They'll take any opportunity of chaos, destruction, disorder.
Yeah.
Anything that they can dismantle, they will.
Yeah, think about Arabian Night Boy. I've reduced him to boy instead of man because he's not all that.
You don't think?
So these poor dead Kushan, with their spirits trying to leave, but it's conceivable that they're still somewhat alive. And little good witch comes upon them, and what comes out of her, of course, is the good heart that she has.
Oh, yeah.
She's feeling for these people. What has happened? She meets two bad guys, probably Holy See folk, because the Holy See in these books, they like nothing more than burning someone at the stake that they don't like, or hoisting them on their petards, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They like to kill people.
And then saying it's for like some righteous reason.
Yeah, isn't it always?
Uh-huh.
So here these two guys are looking at this little girl who looks an awful lot like a witch, someone to be burned at the stake. That means entertainment for the night, they were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And she Jedi mind trips. These aren't the droids you're looking for. We're not looking for her. She's just a nice little gal.
We're going to help
Totally
put these people to rest.
Spellbinds them.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got those little eyes, like they're, oh, yeah, they've been Jedi. And so she is not in any trouble with these because she totally handles the situation. But she's now in a state of distress. What is going on in this town of Visalia? What have we come across? So there's a whole lot going on here. And, Guts is in the background. Serpico, Sir Lancelot. Sir Lancelot, isn't that a great name?
It is.
It's probably because he lanced a lot of people. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, you named him.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out the origin of the nickname?
Well, the original Lancelot.
Oh, okay.
Where are we now? So, we're summing things up. We're in trouble. The reason I know we're in trouble is we're only a band of 7.5, and they are 500,000, and they don't care about what was once the leaders of the Band of the Hawk. The
Leaders of the free world, really.
Yeah. I mean, I would say there's only 8 good folk in that town right now. 8 reliable folk who don't want to hurt anyone, who just want to go through, maybe have a little bread.
Please.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gaston.
Gaston. He just wanted to bake bread. Maybe one of his franchises. He just wanted to go back to being a baker.
He just wanted to live his life peacefully,
Yeah.
happily. One wife, one bakery.
Yeah. Couple of kids. Sourdough. Known for sourdough.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole grain.
Gaston! Never forget Gaston.
Never.
Anyway.
Please.
So anyway, we're in a dangerous place.
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing we can do when you're in a dangerous place, push on through the book.
Agreed.
And that's what we're going to do.
What I will say about this...
Who's will?
Please. Is that it had more words than the entire other book.
Books 7, 8, and 9 didn't have as many words as about 4 pages in this book.
Yeah, literally.
So we learned a lot because of that. And that's how we know we're in trouble.
Agreed.
Luckily, the Black Swordsman, our friend Guts, still has his sword. And I think he keeps it sharp. If you like what you heard, share it with a friend. If you've got something to say it in the comments. And if you would be so kind as to like and subscribe, we'd be very appreciative.